The brother na ese mahodo ekoso ye mangan ma say enti so pe bi etia eya me pese mesel bebre no ni mo be subscribe to the TV be like be comment it your comment section you be click on the notification button for more news updates come on and send me am better me na se ni kwoti mi sem embassy ya me dase
the year 2027 elections no mo betimi awi ni na o ma lead amanyuko no na no na Dr. Tony Edu de nsem bi aba beto ho no mo abusua Dr. Tony Edu nsem a o de aba beto ho no no ano odi yie pa enyina yenim se Dr. Tony Edu de ye NDC amanyuko no ewoni mojam eno osore a odi eno osore a onom anything NDC de Dr. Tony Edu part of this or a part of it wabua NDC amanyuko no on so many occasions enya asenketo ana no eno wo kire se ohwe the way be 17 years ni NDC amanyuko no leader obedi animu no akwa His Excellency John Dramani Mahama from the time no vice president to John Evans Fifi Atta Mills to the time ono ankasa president esanso ebeye candidate wasanso ababeye president was saa we no lasting for best 17 years enya asenketua na according to ono no o say on pese obetena asempo no wehu the successor to John Dramani Mahama yebusa ne say adenti na Dr. Tony Edu on pese obetena ase anase on pese obeka NDC amanyuku no wa bra omuyi the next flag bearer jese omumbo no a Dr. Tony Edu antimi ama reasons na no akire na Koku Anyidoho enso akwa kansem bi a ni nyina no efa nsem ahodo a Dr. Tony Edu de beto abonte rebusia 2027 NDC elections ne de from enekwo nyina no ano ayeden a enya asenketo entie mbowrem ni enkotie Koku Anyidoho ensem a wede beto abonte wi a ni agbawrem akwakotie Dr. Tony Edu so de makram
na emubu na Samuel Koku Anyidoho the bull ako Twitter ni X handle na wako twere nsem bi edi afa ensem a na yura Tony Edu edi tudwa in this interview ewo Gold FM Koku Anyidoho nsem o twere ne say eno use 6 exclamation marks no say Mr. Tony Edu actually doesn't want to live to see the next phase of the NDC. This is sad. He wants to depart before the obvious happens. Not a question mark. Obviously, this is a very sad and touching statement from one of NDC's founding pillars. One of the pillars of the NDC doesn't want to see the next phase of his own party. No yet, no start another 4 exclamation marks. I am weeping silently in my heart. So does majority of NDC Star Wars weep in their hearts because we can feel what Mr. Tony Edu feels. Does the NDC really have a next phase? And now Mr. Samuel Koku Anyidoho assigned to another 4 exclamation marks. The multi-million-dollar question is: a dear partner, Ekoso, this NDC Star Wars or Mutrim after John Mahama. The NPP is privileged because the NPP has a candidate in the limelight of Ghana elections since 2008, and that is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. And it is a fact. Only that, cheap political propaganda and I'll be disputing. So since 2008, the NPP has had one consistent fellow in Ghana's political arena with respect to elections, and it is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. And it is the same time, and then His Excellency John Dramani Mahama so about into the frame. And today, so when I'm penning for it, is Dr. Tony Edu, Samuel Koku Anyidoho, and the rest express this sentimental. Now, your guess is as good as mine. Yanko heard a video of the interviewer, Dr. Tony Edu, granted to Gold 99.8 FM Accra. Now, or expressing this sentiment said, on Paso Behunu, the next phase of the NDC. And you know, the Empire Plan said, nay, say Yakupon Fanwa, hallelujah, and the Betty. But the next phase of the NDC after John Mahama, he doesn't want to see that.
That whoever is planning to take over from Mahama, a great deal depends upon the outcome of the Mahama administration. If it does well, it inures to the party. And therefore, it creates a wind on which the potential or the prospective person can ride. But I don't know. I don't want to be here. Maybe by the time it comes to that point, I will be gone.
You don't want to see what will happen to the party next?
No.
You don't want to be around to see?
I don't want to. Senna, I'm old though. I try. But I'm old. God has been good to me. But I wouldn't mind if he takes me today.
But because essentially, I think, would you not at least want to see where the future of the party, you know John Mahama.
All I want to see is live long enough to see the Black Stars qualify for the World Cup and see them play well during the World Cup.
Okay. The Black Stars qualifying for the World Cup, they're playing well at the World Cup.
Yeah.
I see. You're a big sports fan?
Oh, yes. My house in London used to share a wall with West Ham's Upton Park. A wall. So sometimes I used to stand on the balcony, back room of my house, and I could see the field till they increased the length of the wall. So I was supporting West Ham. In fact, I was supporting all London clubs. Tottenham, West Ham, Arsenal, Chelsea. But when any of them meet Arsenal, I want Arsenal to win. But apart from that, any team that comes to London to play, I want the London club to win.
I think that we had discussed this in the run-up to the 2024 election, the potential positives and negatives of all of the candidates who were running, especially President Mahama and Dr. Bawumia. And one of the potential negatives that was expressed about President Mahama's candidature was that if he were elected, he will be doing a one-term. The reason why that was a potential concern was that if you look at the constitutional arrangements that has been put out in the 1992 Constitution, you will see that the arrangement is such that the operators of the Constitution, that's Ghana and the Ghanaian political scene, will be changing presidents every other election. So if you go to election 1992, the one who wins 1992 is likely to run for the 1996 election, and after 96 to 2000. And then if he's able to win, he'll be there 2 terms, and then another one comes, and that's really what has happened. Now, the danger is that where the president is running in his second term, so I'm referring to January 1997, when Rawlings took the final oath for the second term, and therefore he's not eligible to run for the 2000 election. We saw the process. As soon as the 1997 handing over was over, groups were beginning to emerge within the ruling party about the future, about the succession. It's commonplace, it's normal in every political situation. In America, they will have it down. If it becomes clear that Donald Trump is not running for 2028, groups will emerge as to the succession. And political party people are always going to differ in who should be the successor. They are hardly going to have a 100% opinion. Now, that process affects every government in terms of your performance and in terms of your delivery. But it is anticipated that you will be in your second term. So you may have established certain things that can keep running, because naturally it is a cost to the democracy itself. It's an opportunity cost to democracy itself. For democracy's own sustenance, we must have that disturbance. That's the philosophy. So that we can sustain the process, there has to be the disturbance, which is that people are going to coalesce around opinions for the succession of the president. So in 1997, our first experience with it, the NDC, which was the ruling party at the time, observed that this is potentially dangerous and that Rawlings was leaving and people were coalescing around Guzi Tano especially. People were coalescing around ministers. People thought that there would be the return of Kwesi Botwe to lead the party, all of that. So the elders of the party were concerned about this. This was the first time we were confronted with this kind of situation. What did they do? They decided to go to Flight Lieutenant Rawlings and urge him to end the conversation by declaring, and he was the supreme leader of the party in terms of the founding it and all that, so he had a very powerful voice, to end the process by declaring that Professor Mills was going to be the running mate. Now, he did this as early as 1998, 2 whole years before the election.
You're talking about the Swedru Declaration.
The Swedru Declaration. Now, once he made that declaration, the matter ended. And then we went into 2000 elections. NDC didn't win. But the disturbance to the government was reduced significantly because of that announcement by J.J. Rawlings. And the fallback was that Guzitano and co actually left the party and formed their own party. And that affected the NDC in the year 2000 elections. Then Kufuor became president. Between 2000 and 2004, there was government stability because it was obvious that Kufuor was going to be on the ballot. And so within the MPP, the ruling party, there were no people coalescing around an opinion and dividing themselves. There was nothing like that. Kufuor was going to run. The MPP, I believe, passed a resolution in one of their congress that when the sitting president is running, you don't need to have a congress. So they went through that process smoothly. Then Kufuor took the oath in 2005. As soon as he did, second term of the MPP, the government was going to be disturbed. It's a cost to democracy. So the coalition started around Alan Chemartin, Nana Akufo-Addo, Hackman Uswajiman, Michael Kwe Jr., Michael Kwe Sr., Yao Safo-Mafo, and all of these people. What did Kufuor do? He became very concerned and began to engage publicly that what is happening. Then he decided that, look, if any of my ministers wants to run for president after me, leave the office by this date. And then you saw a mass resignation. The first time we've had it, and we've never had it before, a mass resignation of about 12 to 14 ministers on one day, because this was going to disturb the government. Now, this kind of
and that's where the popular don't speak ahead of time statement came from Kufuor.